Hi guys, today we're going to talk about a material that in recent years has seen an accelerated increase in its manufacture. It's been used more and more frequently in the execution of building projects. In its origins, this material was only used for the construction of industrial building and agri-food. Nowadays, if we look around us, a larger part of the new construction project uses this material or construction system. This is because the manufacturer of this material have incorporated many innovations in recent years, allow them to make a qualitative leap in its functionality and characteristics. This has boosted its use not only in the construction sector but also in the naval, automotive or wind power sector, among others. And that is insulated metal panel. In this video, we will explain the general aspect that we will study more in depth in future videos. I am Carlos Albanez and this is IG Tips. Many people say that the insulated metal panel has its origins at the end of the Second World War, when Europe needed a material that could be manufactured in an industrialized way on a larger scale. Building facilities for refrigeration, for example, became of vital importance to preserve food for the population at that time. This material had to be easy to transport, but also guaranteed that the installation wouldn't require a special qualification of labor, be simple to assembly, and require basic tools. They found a solution, a composite material that is known today as insulated metal panel. This material is made up of a core part with a low density or with insulating properties, and an inner and outer layer at the ends, which are adhered to the core to protect it. The layers are usually made of a much stronger and thinner material. Currently, its main uses in the construction of buildings are two: to make the enclosure of roof and facades, and to make the compartmentalization of interior spaces. With those insulated metal panels, you can build refrigeration chambers, food processing rooms, or clean rooms for hospitals, among many other uses. Likewise, it is used as division for the separation of interior spaces, in case of building with fire emergency system. We must understand that the insulated metal panel is developed as a building construction system. The design of the panels, their fastening and anchoring system between panels and to the structures guarantee optimal condition of easy of assembly, resistance and sealing. If we have to mention 5 most notable characteristics of this material or construction system, this would be: it is a completely prefabricated system, which facilitates the homogeneity and quality control of the product throughout its process, from its manufacture to its installation on site. Its modularity and lightness as a material compared to other systems, it allows its installation to be quick and easy. Its present mechanical capacities with a very high rigidity that makes it a suitable product for use in the windy or snowy areas. It is a material with very diverse solution because it can be manufactured with good durability for corrosive environments or for those that require a high performance of resistance to fire. Its insulation property, both acoustic and thermal, stand out for being a versatile product for the execution of residential, industrial or commercial projects. In 90% of the cases, the insulated metal panels are usually fixed directly to a secondary metal structure of the building. All this by means of simple fastening elements such as screws, clips, plates, etc. But there can also be cases where this panel is fixed to the wooden structure, and in some cases also it is less common to concrete structure. Another remarkable advantage of the insulated metal panel is its perimeter joint system, which allows each panel to be joined very efficiently to the rest of adjoining panels. Being a designed, developed, and industrialized fastening system, excellent thermal insulation properties are achieved, as well as a guarantee that the product is watertight due to rain or snow. There are also special joint systems, which in the case of clean rooms or food handling areas, guarantee and facilitate cleaning and hygiene. The variety of materials in which the core of the insulated metal panel can be manufactured respond to the specific requirements and characteristics that are sought in the project, whether they are mechanical, acoustic, thermal resistance, degree of absorption to humidity, or resistant to fire. Therefore, there are two large groups: rigid foams cores and the nuclei of inorganic materials. For the group of rigid foams cores, we can also distinguish two new subgroups, which will depend on the origins of the raw manufacturing material. Foams based on polyurethane, that is those known as PUR and PIR. And on the other hand, polystyrene based foams, EPS and XPS. In the case of cores made of inorganic material, it is usual to find the glass wool, rock wool, mineral wool, PVC foam, and aluminum honeycomb, with application in automotive and aeronautics. Now let's get to know the characteristics of those outer layers that protect the core. These layers can also be grouped into two large groups depending on the manufacturing material: metallic element and non-metallic element. For metallic element, the most common material are usually galvanized steel, aluminum, stainless steel, copper. While for elements known as non-metallic, we can find panels whose outer layers are made of wood, waterproof chipboard, fiber cement, or fiber gypsum, and those who are considered special for TPO, PVC type roofs that have the characteristic of having minimal slopes in their assembly, as well as the use and combination of more innovative material for the manufacture of insulated metal panel roof with landscape system. It is important to mention that at its beginning, the insulated metal panel used to present the inner and outer layer in the same material. Today, there is a wide range of possibilities and combination of material for said layers in the same panel. For metallic layer, the most common textures that are usually found in this layer are usually a smooth texture, mini wave, simulator tile, or simulator slate type stone. And as a finish of protecting coating for this metallic layer, we can mention those that have a solvent base and those that have a water base. Solvent-based finish or coating are increasingly in disuse due to environment and restriction for this type of coating. Also, some manufacturers continue to improve their formulas to meet those environmental quality regulations required by the US and the European Union. In future video, we will see in detail the most popular type of panel, as well as the most common question you should ask yourself when choosing an insulated metal panel for your project. Do not forget to download the summary file of this video, where you can have an overview of everything we have talked about in this chapter. See you soon!